Building a powerful, well-rounded shoulder workout with dumbbells is one of the smartest ways to increase strength, add shape to your upper body, and improve your overall physical performance without needing a full gym. The shoulder joint is complex, capable of incredible mobility but also easily injured when trained incorrectly, which is why understanding anatomy, exercise selection, volume, technique, and programming matters deeply. When your shoulder routine is properly structured, it doesn't just grow your deltoids, it strengthens your posture, stabilizes your upper body, improves your pushing and pulling movements, and sharpens the visual symmetry of your physique. Creating a long, detailed plan ensures you gain a complete understanding of how to build such a workout, why each movement matters, how to perform it with precision, how to avoid injury, and how to design long-term progression using nothing but dumbbells. Your shoulders, made of the anterior, front, lateral, side, and posterior, rear deltoid heads, require a balanced approach. Many beginners overtrain the front delts because pushing exercises like bench press, incline press, and chest workouts activate them heavily. Side and rear delts often become weaker due to lack of targeted training, resulting in round shoulders, weak posture, and underdeveloped width. A complete dumbbell shoulder workout should therefore activate all three heads evenly while incorporating warm-ups, activation drills, compound motions, isolation movements, and finishing techniques. It's also important to remember that shoulder training must prioritize form over weight because even a small mistake, swinging, jerking, incorrect elbow angle, or rushing repetitions, can overload the joint and lead to rotator cuff problems. With proper structure, however, dumbbells can build massive, rounded delts that stand out from every angle. Before lifting, always warm up the shoulder joint. This means bringing blood flow into the muscle fibers while stimulating the rotator cuff to ensure your ball and socket joint moves smoothly. Light dumbbell rotations, arm circles, face pulls if available with a band, or very light lateral raises all help awaken the stabilizers. Even lifting your working dumbbells for one light set can prepare your tendons. A warmed-up shoulder is harder to injure and far more capable of lifting heavier weights during the main sets. When your warm-up is complete, you'll feel your shoulders more open, joints more lubricated, and muscles slightly activated. This ensures the main workout becomes safer and more effective. A proper dumbbell shoulder workout should start with a compound movement, an exercise involving multiple muscles and joints that allows you to move heavier weight. The seated or standing dumbbell shoulder press is the primary choice. This exercise targets the front and side delts heavily while recruiting the triceps and upper chest. The reason it is placed first is simple. Compound lifts require maximum energy and stability, so performing them when you are fresh ensures better form and strength. Pressing builds the foundation for overall shoulder mass. Ensure the elbows travel not too far forward or backward but at a natural angle that protects the shoulder capsule. The movement should be slow on the way down, controlled, and explosive on the way up without jerking. Over time, progressing your shoulder press by increasing weight or reps is one of the biggest contributors to bigger, rounder shoulders. Many advanced lifters stay loyal to this movement because it works consistently. After the compound press, the next step is to target the side delts, which create width and give your shoulders that broad, powerful look. Dumbbell lateral raises are the king of side delt exercises. The key is not the weight but the technique. Lifting with control, leading with the elbow, keeping a slight bend, and avoiding swinging your torso. The dumbbell should not travel too high, going slightly above shoulder level is enough. If you swing with heavy weight, other muscles like traps or momentum begin taking over, reducing the tension on the delts. Quality reps beat heavy reps here. Slow, controlled raises with proper form stimulate the side delts far more effectively and give your shoulder caps that rounded, three-dimensional look. You will feel a deep burn if done correctly. You can also use variations such as leaning lateral raises or seated lateral raises to intensify the movement by increasing time under tension. Now comes one of the most neglected parts of the shoulder, the rear delts. Weak rear delts create imbalanced posture, forward slouched shoulders, and an incomplete look from the back. A strong pair of rear delts creates balance, symmetry, and that sculpted upper back look seen in professional athletes. Dumbbell reverse flies or bent over rear delt raises are perfect dumbbell movements for this purpose. When performing them, bend over at the hips while keeping your back straight. Lift your arms outward in a reverse fly motion while consciously squeezing the back of your shoulders, not your upper back or traps. Many people accidentally recruit their traps when doing rear delt work, which is why mind-muscle connection becomes essential. You want to feel the rear delt doing the work as if you're trying to push your elbows outward while keeping your torso stable. When done properly, this exercise builds the back of the shoulder roundness that completes the 3D effect. Once your compound lifts and main isolation movements are done, you can incorporate front raises to target the anterior delts directly. Even though front delts get plenty of indirect stimulation from pressing movements, adding a controlled set of dumbbell front raises can enhance their strength and development. Avoid swinging. Raise the dumbbells slowly to shoulder height. Holding the top for a brief second intensifies the tension and builds more definition. However, it's recommended not to overtrain the front delts, as they are easily overworked compared to side and rear delts. Even 1 or 2 high-quality sets can be enough if you're already pressing heavy. To maximize shoulder definition, using different angles is extremely effective. For example, doing an Arnold press can stimulate the delts in a unique rotational plane, activating more fibers due to the motion pattern. This exercise involves rotating the wrists during the press, beginning with the palms facing you and ending with the palms facing outward at the top. The rotation increases the involvement of front and side delts while also enhancing shoulder mobility. The Arnold press is a favorite among bodybuilders for its ability to recruit multiple parts of the shoulder in one movement, adding depth and shape. Another great movement is the dumbbell upright row, but this should be performed carefully because lifting too high can stress the shoulder joint. Using a slightly wider grip and keeping the weight moderate helps activate the side delts effectively while minimizing joint strain. When done correctly, upright rows can emphasize the outer shoulder head and build upper body thickness. To further intensify your training, incorporate techniques like drop sets, supersets, and slow negatives. For example, performing a shoulder press immediately followed by lateral raises without rest enhances metabolic stress, one of the key drivers of hypertrophy. Drop sets, where you reduce weight after reaching failure and continue lifting, help push your delts beyond their comfort zone and recruit deeper muscle fibers. These techniques create mechanical tension and shock the muscle into growing. However, they should not be overused. Once or twice a week is ideal to avoid joint fatigue. A well-structured dumbbell-only shoulder workout must also consider training volume, the total number of sets and reps. For muscle growth, 12 to 20 total working sets per week for shoulders is ideal, divided across all 3 heads. If you train shoulders once per week, include all sets in that session. If you train twice, split the volume. Determining the right volume depends on your recovery, lifestyle, and experience level. Beginners may need 10 to 12 sets weekly, while advanced lifters may require 18 to 22. Rest times matter as well. 60 to 90 seconds between isolation movements and 90 to 120 seconds for heavy presses. This allows partial recovery without cooling the muscles too much. Progression is the key to long-term shoulder growth. Without progression, your deltoids cannot grow. There are multiple progression methods: adding weight, increasing reps, adding sets, improving form, slowing down tempo, and reducing rest slightly. Even holding contractions longer at the top of lateral raises or performing the eccentric portion more slowly can trigger new growth. Small weekly improvements compound over time, leading to noticeable increases in strength and shape. Your shoulder workout must also balance injury prevention. The shoulder has 4 main rotator cuff muscles: supraspinatus, infraspinatus, teres minor, and subscapularis. These muscles stabilize the joint during lifts but do not grow from heavy pressing alone. They need light, controlled, targeted work. Incorporating exercises such as external rotations with light dumbbells or bands, face pulls, and internal rotation movements strengthens these stabilizers. Strong rotator cuffs allow you to press heavier and reduce risk of injury. Think of rotator cuff training as protecting your investment. The heavier you lift, the more stability you need. Another major component of building a shoulder workout is understanding posture and alignment. Your shoulder blades should remain retracted and depressed, slightly pulled down, during most pushing movements. This provides a stable base for pressing and prevents shoulder impingement. Without proper scapular positioning, the front delts, upper traps, and even your neck muscles may take over. A clean, safe movement begins with a stable foundation. At this point, it becomes necessary to examine each exercise with fine detail so that your dumbbell workout is executed with precision. The dumbbell shoulder press, for example, works best when your elbows drop just below shoulder height before pressing up. Going too low can add unnecessary stress, while stopping too high reduces range of motion. The dumbbell should move like an arc, not too far forward or backward. Lateral raises should focus on moving the elbows outward, not the hands upward. Imagine pouring water out of a jug as you lift. The slight inward tilt of the dumbbells activates the side delts more effectively. Rear delt raises require bending over far enough so that the rear delts, not traps, take the tension. You must think of raising your elbows backward, not shrugging upward. Front raises require a slow, steady lift to shoulder height and a controlled descent, never letting gravity do half the work. Once you know the correct execution, you can build a complete dumbbell shoulder workout routine. For example, a balanced 60-minute routine might include warm-ups, a heavy compound press, side delt work, rear delt work, angle variations, and finishing techniques. Each component contributes differently, building strength, shape, and symmetry. The order matters. Press first, then side delts, then rear delts, then finishers. This structure ensures you don't exhaust stabilizing muscles too early. Rest days are part of the process. Shoulders need time to recover because they are involved in so many upper body movements throughout the week. If you train chest or push exercises the day before shoulders, fatigue may reduce performance. Ideally, separate major pushing sessions to allow fresh deltoids during shoulder day. Protein intake, hydration, and sleep accelerate recovery. Muscle grows outside the gym, not inside it. Now we combine everything into an example 3,000-word shoulder workout system. A sample program might begin with 5 minutes of mobility, arm circles, light rotations, and warm-up presses using very light dumbbells. Then move into seated dumbbell presses for 4 to 5 sets of 8 to 12 reps. Seated presses reduce cheating and allow you to focus on pure deltoid strength. Afterwards, lateral raises for 4 sets of 12 to 15 reps done slowly with strict form. Then bent over rear delt raises for 3 to 4 sets of 12 to 15 reps, focusing on squeezing the back of the shoulder. Next, Arnold presses for 3 sets of 10 reps to stimulate delts through rotation. Then front raises for 2 to 3 sets of 12 reps. Finish with a burnout lateral raise drop set. Pick a light weight and perform as many controlled reps as possible, reduce weight, and repeat. This pushes your shoulders through metabolic fatigue and builds endurance and definition. One of the biggest advantages of dumbbells is the freedom of range of motion. Machines restrict your arm path, but dumbbells let your shoulders move naturally. This helps build more balanced strength and reduces joint stress. It also improves stabilizer activation. However, dumbbells require better control and focus. You must guide the weight does not guide you. This makes dumbbell workouts excellent for both beginners learning form and advanced lifters seeking deeper isolation. If your goal is muscle growth, you should track your reps, sets, and weights. Without tracking, it's impossible to know whether you're progressing. Small increases over time create the results. Even adding 1 extra representative each week signals your muscle to adapt. Also consider alternating between heavy and lighter days. A heavy dumbbell press day focuses on strength, while a lighter day emphasizes higher representative lateral raises and rear delt exercises for muscle detail. Another factor in developing shoulders is mind-muscle connection. When lifting, your focus should not drift toward counting reps alone. Instead, concentrate on the sensation within the muscles, especially during the eccentric lowering phase. Feeling the stretch and contraction deeply engages more fibers. In lateral raises, imagine pushing outward against invisible resistance. In rear delt raises, imagine pulling from the back of the shoulder rather than the arms. This mental focus transforms average reps into powerful reps that stimulate real growth. A common mistake people make is using too much weight in lateral raises. Heavy raises shift tension to traps, reducing delt stimulation. Using lighter weight with strict form builds bigger side delts than swinging heavy weight without control. The shoulder is a small muscle, it grows best with tension, not ego. Another mistake is skipping rear delts. If you don't train them, your shoulders will look incomplete, and your posture will weaken. Even 2 dedicated rear delt movements per week can dramatically improve your upper body balance. Your shoulder workout with dumbbells should evolve over time. Every 4 to 8 weeks, consider adjusting your exercises, reps, or intensity techniques. This prevents plateaus and keeps your muscles challenged. You can rotate between Arnold presses, shoulder presses, and single arm variations. You can also alter your lateral raise style, leaning raises, cable-like dumbbell raises by changing torso angle, or doing them lying sideways on a bench for constant tension. Consistency matters most. Training shoulders once a week can work, but training them twice a week with balanced volume can accelerate growth. The first day can be heavy pressing and moderate isolation. The second day can be lighter presses with high representative lateral raises and heavy rear delt isolation. This ensures all 3 heads receive equal attention multiple times per week. Finally, remember that building shoulders takes time. Deltoids do not grow overnight because they are endurance-heavy muscles. But with correct form, consistent progression, balanced training of all three heads, rotator cuff strengthening, and patience, your shoulders will transform. They will grow rounder, stronger, and more defined, contributing to your upper body presence, athletic performance, and confidence. Dumbbells alone can build world-class shoulders when used intelligently.